Let us now move on to the first discussion for today. In recent years, precision medicine has emerged as a pivotal approach in revolutionizing healthcare globally, and its potential impact in India is substantial. With its diverse population and complex disease profiles, India stands to benefit greatly from the personalized approach offered by precision medicine. This paradigm shift towards individualized treatment strategies has the potential to enhance patient outcomes, reduce healthcare costs, and optimize resource utilization. And with this, let me introduce you all to our first panel discussion of the day: Precision Medicine in India, unveiling the imperative, impact, and challenges in patient centric care. And now, I'd like to welcome our panelists to join us on stage. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause. Mr. Abhishek Gupta, Country Manager, Illumina. Mr. J.P. Dwivedi, Chief Information Officer, Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute and Research Center. Mr. Neeraj Gupta, Founder and CEO, Genes to Me Private Limited. Mr. Hitesh Goswami, Co-founder and CEO, 4Base Care. Dr. Ravi Gaur, Founder, DRG Path Labs, Partner and Director, UniDRG Specialty Labs, Delhi. Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee, Unipath Specialty Labs, Ahmedabad. Dr. Prashant Kumar, Chief Scientific Officer, Karkinos Healthcare. Now, I request Dr. Gaur to please take over this session from here.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I think before we are just waiting for one more panelist. He's going to be here a couple of minutes. And Dr. Prashant is fortunately not able to come today, but he will be definitely delivering some kind of a videos talk a couple of minutes from now. He's based in, out of Delhi, so I think he had some personal. This is, I think, I like to say to start with. I think we just heard the inaugural panel, and Voice of Health has actually come out with a topic which is, I still remember, 15, 16 years back. Precision was like all therapies, and it should be just precision. Now, precision medicine has actually become the topmost. From here to here, from nowhere to here, and now we're going to where we are going to go. I think that's become a big, important topic today. So this Precision MedTech India by Voice of Health, and they're really voicing something which is going to be a future, and which is already in practice now almost, in especially in cancer. And Dr. Senjo mentioned we'll have to talk about maybe in the future in diabetes, neurology, cardiovascular disorders, and maybe much, much, much more. And what a day, I think, to do this. Today, it's you can say precision medicine is what? Basically, today is Easter, a day of hope. And that's what we are talking today. Precision medicine is given a hope that cancer is going to be cured. If not, definitely we can prolong the life, eternal joy and happiness, and probably better quality of life. In any case, wishing all of us a good day of hope and happy Easter. With that, I think I will just probably say a couple of things before I set my esteemed panelists. We have like very, very distinguished panelists. They're doing their startup, they're entrepreneurs, they're doing wonderful work, and they've been, in fact, probably to take a challenge of a new technology, and which is not an easy job. And all of them have done a great work, and probably we'll be wishing Dr. Prashant here from Karkinos, but I'm sure he'll be, some questions will be addressed as we move forward. Then, one of the things which I always mention, I don't know when it comes to health, we're very, very cautious. Very, very cautious. And I think we're very conventional, and we're prescribing also we feel very rigid. But if you all go buy a car insurance online, what do? We compare 10 car insurance providers. We make sure my car is 10 years old. I need driver insurance, personal insurance, backseater insurance, rear tire, front tire. We customize everything. And ultimately, after that, an app gives us, oh, this is a customized panel for you, which we have been using for many years. But when it comes to health, we just go, headache this, sugar high is this, low sugar drug, whatever it is. We don't actually work on that. But yes, when the genomics work came into existence, it's been there for a very long time. But probably last, you can say, uh, 15 years, or probably I'll say last more decade, probably to be more specific. Now that's where the customization is happening, and that's where precision medicine has come into practice. I think the buzzword is out here, from personalized to this companion diagnosis, pharmacogenomics, liquid biopsies now, CAR T therapy. All this is now probably because of what we're talking today here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think an esteemed panelist and all of you are here, and probably some of you must be online too. Welcome to discussion on the transformative power of precision medicine, which is reshaping the future of oncology and other diseases. In an era where healthcare is increasingly, you can say, personalized, at the intersection of, you can say, genomics, innovative therapies, and tailored treatments is revolutionizing the healthcare. And I think we're all here to understand from the various panelists here what is going to be the shift. This is basically the paradigm shift which is happening in the medcare, which gives a beacon of hope, offering unprecedented opportunities to improve patient care. And the whole will, I think we have the panelists will probably will they'll join us, and probably all of our request all of you to be more interactive, ask more questions, whatever you have. We always delve probably into the profound impact of precision medicine on the trajectory of oncology and other diseases, and we envision a future which is like future of healthcare. But realizing such potential, which is probably moving away from the conventional, the futuristic, that has its own challenges, its own problems. We have, you can say, the data, ethics, validation, and how it will be, because nobody knows today if I take some genetic therapy, it might work for 2 years, 10 years, 5 years. After 15 years, it turns out to be something else. But I think this is the era we all want to discuss here today. So with this, I'll start my panel discussion. Dr. Dwivedi is also joined. Welcome, sir. And I think I'll sit there. I think maybe I can stand here. I think I better do better, talk to amongst the panelists, be part of the team here. I'll just start.
Please accept my sincere apology for not being able to attend the meeting due to unforeseen circumstances. First of all, many congratulations to the team of Voice of Healthcare for choosing a topic that is timely and very relevant. Thanks to Ms. Pinky Chahar and Ms. Khushbu Sharma for their relentless effort, and I wish them good luck. The areas what has been picked for the discussion today is precision medicine. And I truly believe that the precision medicine aims to provide a more precise prevention, diagnosis, and treatment for the disease. The goal of precision medicine is to target the right treatment for the right patient at the right time. In oncology, targeted therapy drugs like TKIs, immunotherapy has changed the treatment management. The beginning of the field of precision oncology, as I do remember, it was in the year 1998 with the approval of Herceptin, one of the first molecularly targeted therapy, which was indicated for HER2 positive breast cancer. Precision medicine relies on genetic testing, including companion diagnostics and pharmacogenomics, to identify specific genetic variations to optimize treatment plans. It also encompasses targeted and immunotherapies that focus on a specific molecular marker in particular cancer types. Precision medicine has strong impact by managing less cost in terms of application of only required therapy plan and improving survival. However, I would say that precision medicine challenges are there, especially in Indian context. The precision medicine adaptation in India is still in the nascent stage, widely due to high cost of treatment therapy, lack of multiple drugs availability in India, and affordability issue. The adaptation of precision medicine in India is gaining momentum, spurred by increasing private sector investment in diagnostic research and development. India is still in the early stage of developing and deploying precision medicine. However, Due to reduction in cost of genomic testing, there is a significant growth predicted in upcoming future. One such areas I would like to just indicate is about the data privacy and security which actually play in the implementation of precision medicine, especially when it comes to the collection of and use of genetic information. The genetic data is sensitive in nature, so protecting patient information is prime importance. Risk of discrimination. Private insurance companies may discriminate if they get hold of patient genetic information. Thus, the protection of the data is an utmost important area to focus. The regulatory compliances are required to ensure, such as Health Insurance, Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA) in the United States, which is used to protect genetic data. The future, I would say, it's a very bright, especially with the surge in the cancer rate, or the cancer rates are on the rise. Our large population burden, adopting precision medicine tailored treatment options based on specific genetic variation will hold strong promise to more effective disease management. Early detection, awareness, and government support for each of these sectors and to reach out to the patient for affordable care is the requirement of the time. Conducting clinical trial, I think this is one such area which we need to focus. Going ahead, the clinical trials in India is also required and will definitely bring more awareness for precision medicine. I believe we are in the era of multi-omics. We keep discussing that how can we integrate the data of the multi-omics, and this integration of the data is really important to understand the landscape of cancer. Also, the liquid biopsy adaptation in the routine clinical use and monitoring MRD or early detection is something which is utmost important. Use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to churn the large amount of data is an area to focus again. Drug development and therapy based on personalized genomics profile and patient-centric approaches is required. Clinical implementation of molecular panels based on personalized patient profile is something which I would expect is going to happen in upcoming near future. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all a good and engaging day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald Prashant, for this video address. I wish you were here. Probably Kakinos is one of the leading most organization who is doing a wonderful job in this field, especially the field of oncology. We will definitely miss you, but in any case, I'm sure people will, when you people Google around, you will find most of the answers are there wherever you are speaking and talking about. This is where, come what may, precision medicine is, I really feel it's a game changer. I think all of you will definitely agree with this. So with this, I'll start my first question. And my first question is Hitesh. Hitesh, I'd like to ask you two questions, basically. Now, how has genetic testing revolutionized the way we diagnose and treat cancer, number one? And then what specific genetic markers are currently being targeted for personalized treatment approaches?
Thanks, Dr. Gaur. Maybe I could not see Dr. Mukherjee, but I would have started with what he said, maybe a fairy tale. So once upon a time, kind of a thing. So once upon a time, imagine once upon a time there was a pancreatic stage 2 cancer patient, right, who was diagnosed. And typically with a standard of care treatment with such an aggressive kind of a cancer, the patient would not go to live more than a year or 2 years, right? But in 2020, we had a patient coming who had pancreatic cancer stage 2, and we did use genomics as a technology to get the molecular insights on what is the molecular biomarkers which is driving this cancer. Can we get more information about the cancer so that we can treat it more effectively? We found a mutation in a particular gene called KRAS, which was G12D, as you know, at that point G12C is the main mutation which is there, and we found in G12D, but there was no targeted therapy available. But at the same time, the patient tumor mutation burden was around 33, and the patient was put on immunotherapy along with proton therapy, and he's happily living today. Complete remission just within 1 year of the treatment starting. And 2024, just 2 weeks back, I had a call with his son. So this is the era that we are living in. This is the power of precision medicine. Precision medicine essentially allows us to understand the enemy better, especially in the case of cancer. And if you have more information about who your opponent is, it allows you to strategize better and act better. That's essentially what precision medicine does. And with advancement in technologies like genomics and digital health, it today allows us to treat cancer in a very, very personalized way. And this was just one of the examples that I have shared with you in terms of one of the patient. And precision medicine, to be honest, it's not very, very new. We have been having molecular markers right from start. We've been looking at ER, PR status, triple negative status. Based on that, the treatment changes. But what has changed now is because of the advancement in technologies like genomics, right? Thanks to Illumina, who has led over there, we are able to look at more markers in one time. So rather than looking at single marker and then trying to take a decision, now it allows us to look at more markers together. So which is might answer your second question also, where earlier there were most of the markers were more specific to the site of the cancer. So you might have EGFR mutation, which is very specific to lung cancer and things like that. But now what has happened in the last 2-3 years, I'm sure you would agree that we have seen a lot of pan cancer markers, right? Starting with tumor mutation burden, which either is pancreatic cancer or any other solid cancer, immunotherapy becomes a choice of treatment. Similarly, there's MSI, NTRK, and last year itself, we have seen RET fusion, which is typically earlier associated with lung cancer. Now it is being approved as a pan-cancer marker. So any cancer which has a RET fusion, there is a treatment which is available. And BRAF V600V, which was again for colon, now it is more like for this. So there are a lot of advancement which has happened. And in diagnosis also, the way liquid biopsy is going, liquid biopsy might soon be used in terms of diagnosis. It's not very far away, where ctDNA profile might give us better indication of the disease status and the progression which could be there. So yeah, it's very exciting times.
Great. I think we probably have a lot of markers, and I think a lot more are coming. Probably every day, probably we can hear something new right up there. And I think getting more specific. Earlier it was lung cancer. Now it's like okay, adenocarcinoma or squamous carcinoma or no, adenosquamous, and further in that subgrade coverage. I think we're getting more and more precise. It's like, tailoring the need to the individual actually, because whatever is required, that's what is happening. So I think roughly before we got more technical kind of a thing, I'd like Dr. Dwivedi, who was out here, sir. You come from Rajiv Gandhi, and I think there's a hub of cancer research or treatment, whatever it is. How is your hospital like is adopting that? What is the concept of precision medicine? How have Rajiv Gandhi has taken it forward? I want to hear you from.
Thank you. First of all, I must thank for inviting me here. And it is a proud moment for me representing technology. This is a core clinical subject. And a technologist coming and sharing the dais with the clinicians of this stature is really a moment of pride, not only for Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute, but also for IT as a profession. So thank you so much for that. See, as I see precision medicine, the difference between the traditional medicine and precision medicine, it's just like comparing a sniper gun with a double barrel gun. The traditional chemotherapy used to create more harm than the benefit in certain cases. So in Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute, see, molecular labs, we are one of the pioneers in the country, and I think everybody knows it. It is not a hidden fact. But the precision medicine goes far beyond that. So it starts with the intervention also. We started robotic surgery in 2011. And that is also part of precision medicine, because you are reaching out to the organs where traditional knife will not go there. It will reduce blood loss, it will reduce a loss, And then we came to the interventional oncology, where RFA, TACE, TARE, etc. They came as part of the precision medicine. And then we started in 2011 this molecular lab, which was very rudimentary at that stage. But now we have one of the most advanced labs in the Asia, I would say, if not competing with certain labs in America or Europe. But at least, and the biomarkers that we are using are now getting more and more precise. I have heard a couple of speakers here, and this is very heartening. And I would say, advanced stage pancreatic cancer cases are surviving up to 5 years with much better quality of life. So we are doing a lot of things. I will not be able to go much deeper on clinical subjects, but IT is partnering with the pathology, with the medical oncology, and with all fields to create that impact on patient safety, clinical outcome, cost reduction, and patient experience, all facets. Thank you.
I think that's a very important part. So thank you. I think we are talking about cost reduction. I think this is something which is like because we want to make everything equitable and accessible to actually the people who really need it. Because a lot of people who can afford it, they can do it in India, they can go abroad. But India has population where they can't afford a basic consultation. The cost is one of the important factors, I'm sure. Rajiv Gandhi.
Genome sequencing is much cheaper than it used to be, and it is coming closer to the normal diagnostics.
Very nice. Well done. I think we wish you all the best, and I think I'm sure the hospital will grow up, and we all probably benefit from that. I think come back to like you again, because I think. But before that, I like to meet to Neeraj. Neeraj is the founder of Genes to Me, and he's a diversified person. In fact, probably he is trying to work on something when we talked about cost. And I like to have two questions, Neeraj. What are some of the most significant advancements in precision medicine, and how have they impacted patient care and outcome? Number one. And secondly, this is an era when we talk about make in India, make in India, and make in India. Dr. Shendu is already sitting there. He says, "You come to me, I'll make sure you make in India." I think something from you, how make in India for the technologies can help in faster adoption. What are you doing about that? And I think how we can benefit from them.
Thank you very much, first of all, for having me. I think precision medicine is a new modern name which has been given to something bigger version of companion diagnostics that has started generations back. And the difference lies that earlier we were just doing hit based method, that we know the drug which is responsible to a certain marker, and then we used to just test that. But we were just missing so much more information that could be more beneficial for that patient group, particular candidate. And that has been led to the evolution of precision medicine with the technologies like genome sequencing that has been emerging in the world around in the segment. And that's what I think there are two basic advancements that are happening in this space, which are in two different dimensions. One is preventive-based precision medicine. Now, what does preventive-based precision medicine means? That is that you do one-time profiling with just a blood draw, and you can know more than information about 800 plus drugs that are across these different segments, from pain management to neuro to cardio to as basic as diabetes drugs. Just as a very basic fact of information, we consume metformin in India just like a daily bread. But more than information is that 60% of Indian population is not recommended for metformin as per our genetic makeup. So that's where, but that is the most prescribed drug for in all diabetes care. That is the level of information which precision medicine can bring an impact to our daily life. And that across, may it be to cardio, may it be to neuro, may it be to oncology. That is the area where with one single profile of blood profiling in just a very cost-effective manner can get you information across 800 drugs, which can stay in your lifetime, just like as your Aadhaar card, or that can be used for any referral across any hospitals with any clinician. That is one of the advancements that has happened, and we at Genes to Me have done a lot of work in that space. Second is how we can get to more serious based treatments and diagnosis. That is, when it comes to oncology, selecting the right candidate drug, selecting the right chemotherapy partner, drug therapy, or any such information is now very much possible, and has been one of the differentiator. When we used to all, early days, everybody used to think, if I just got somebody in cancer in my family, if I have means, I will try to first go outside India and get the treatment done. Uh, but trust me, we have the same level of treatments and technologies to treat cancer patients in India. But the only way we differentiate it there in India and there in US or anywhere in Western world is how we diagnose them. The way we used to diagnose and profile the cancer outside gets you much more precise treatment regime versus what we have, a standard SOP based regime which we follow in India, which has been very conventional. That was the differentiator. But that world is changing now with a lot of precision medicine applications coming into there and getting much more precise. Just give a very small example before I close on this particular subject. I have seen how it has impacted in a personal life, whereas one of my very close friend's son was diagnosed with a fourth stage cancer, and he was just 10 years age, and then we did a precision medicine pharmacogenomics test in our facility, and that was in our early stages of development, so it was not for actually diagnostic use that time, but we just did it as a trial, and we found that there were different chemotherapy drug selections that were recommended as per his genetic makeup and as per his cancer type versus what was being recommended as a standard SOP in the hospital. And we requested doctor to adopt that change, and he luckily adapted that, and today he is almost 20 years age and completely survived. And he's absolutely free from cancer. So see that kind of impact precision medicine can bring in play of this. Coming on to the second question is Make in India. We at Genes to Me today are producing 28 different clinical solutions in NGS. Precision medicine is one of our key flagship solution that we produce. We have been European CE-IVD certified for all these solutions, and we are not just producing in India, we are just making it as Make in India and draining it internationally now. We are exporting to 55 plus countries. But what does it mean is that we are able to bring a price comparison factor. What that is the game-changing solution wherein we can bring this test, as I heard in the earlier comments today, it's so expensive to adopt these technologies for a larger population. And since we have policymakers also in the room today, one of the biggest differentiator is to how we can bring this test under 10,000 rupees or at the price of a PET scan, so that as we do PET scan for every cancer patient, why don't we do a genetic profiling for every cancer patient that walks into the hospital, and then we can be able to prescribe a much better treatment course. And that's what we are working towards. Under Make in India, I think that is something which is the dual possibility, and taking away the benchmarking of all international price brands. I remember when we started our company back, foundation medicine was one of the tests which was most prescribed, but it was the luxury most test costing 2.5 lakh rupees for a patient. And today we have pan cancer, pan kind of thing solutions available from Forbase Care or our company or many other companies which are under 50,000 rupees or even 10,000, 20,000 rupees. That kind of differentiations can make the impact towards the road. Thank you, and sorry for the long one.
Thank you, Iraj. I think well said. I think just quick follow up, just one line, quite answer out from you. Ultimately, come what may, any therapy we have, probably best of therapy. We talked about foundation, you talked about other things. Probably they are very very expensive. Where do you see like how much fall in pricing cost for the patient? I think, can you just give an indication? Maybe next 5 years. Today is 100 rupees. It will be what in next 5 years? Suppose that. Any indication?
I think I can give you more realistic answer. That's what we are offering now. And that's what my personal goal is to bring to the country as our founding solution. a true benefit of Make in India. So foundation, as we all know, is priced somewhere around 2.5 lakh rupees, which gives you MSI, TMB, and all that information. Our goal is to bring it under 10,000 rupees. And we are already very
that's what we
close.
are.
We are already about 20,000 rupees, which gives you more than information than foundation and much more bioinformatic strengths behind that.
I think that's what we're looking for. I'm sure the country needs that great work. And so I think coming to my next question, because when we require any technology, there are providers who are science out there, but we require platform and tools. And we have Abhishek, who is country manager for Illumina, because that's something, one of the most probably the sequencing tool, which is probably worldwide, which we use with the most upgraded technology. Abhishek, my quick question to you, right? Can you discuss the range of molecular panels available for the cancer patients today? And what are some promising future directions? I'd like to hear from you.
Hello. Thanks first of all to VH for inviting me here for the panel. And I think it's a very apt question, Dr. Gaur. So in terms of a lot of speakers have already talked about the role of genomics, the role genomics that will be playing in the pharmacology. So it is very, very evident that NGS is playing a key role in terms of supporting a lot of precision medicine, including the cancer testing that is happening. And we at Illumina, when you look at the machine technology, people are talking about cost effectiveness. And we had Dr. Dwivedi already talking about the cost of genomics coming down. The new innovations that we are doing is actually focusing around sustainable sequencing machines, sustainable sequencing technologies, which is actually making it more accessible. From coming to the panels that are available, I think there is, as Hitesh talked about, there are small, earlier the focus was on the small single genes, which has converted into small panels. Then there are mixed size panels. What we have now seen as a trend is that there is a lot of emphasis around moving to the comprehensive genomics panel, which would be together as a solution will be covering multiple genes, more than hundreds of genes, which will be able to give a larger perspective around the disease, and also will be helping with the more precise therapy. So one of the things, for example, at Illumina, we have a technology called TSO 500, which is like people talked about foundation medicine and others. We actually, when the whole of the essence is around making it more affordable. This is a very affordable testing, which is now accessible at a lot of laboratories across India. And few of the members in the room that we have, some of them are already doing it. The idea of developing that test globally was that it is a test which has been developed in collaboration. A lot of clinical trials that have happened. There are cancer markers which are there, and there is also some input that have been taken from population genomics across the world. Also, there are new 10K genomics in India that has happened. With that, those things will also go into account. So all in all, if the shorter answer to that would be that the panels would be ranging from small panels to the large panels, in which is the CGP, which is the comprehensive genomics panel, and the TSO that we have, it includes 523 genes, which is able to give you a wide range, including some of the testing drugs which are available right now, and some drugs which are there, which are under trials, clinical trials. So that is then up to the clinicians to look it up to it. Now, coming up to your second question, which is about the new technologies that are coming into play, I think genomics, for that matter, we have already seen the impact that it is making in the whole world. But now we understand that it is not only going to be genomics. With the new era, and a lot of speakers before me also talked about multi-omics. And now it's a combination of genomics, proteomics, transcriptomics, and epigenetics. So these four together, this is going to be the trend which is going to take the world forward in terms of getting more information, giving more data points to the clinicians for better testing and better drugs therapy as well. So we at Illumina, we are actually we have our focus in terms of getting this to working with all the technology partners, a lot of healthcare providers. We are working with them. We are working to make sure that our equipments are not only for genomics. We work with these partners, which are different organizations, but they are compatible on our technology, so that as solution providers, the hospitals, the labs, they are able to give more comprehensive details to the patients, ultimately to the patients and to the clinicians for a better disease management. So that's what we intend to do. And just last point, in terms of Illumina, with their approach in terms of making it more accessible, we are not only as a commercial organization, we are doing this to make the technology accessible in form of our lab. We have, in our new office setting that we have just launched last year, late last year, we have established a new ISC, which is Illumina Solution Center, that intend to provide that infrastructure and the ecosystem for the new learning environment, wherein we want to make genomics, everybody should get the benefit out of it. We have the lab, we have the equipment, people can train over it. We already are running programs with a lot of institutes like IITs, with CCMB and IGIB, wherein we want to make it more accessible not only to the patients but also to the partners who are doing it. So that's what we want to do.
Thanks. I think you're doing great work. In any case, I'm well aware of that. I think one of my what you like probably you're making make some kind of panel where the treatment is of course defined, but why not add some laughter into it? The patient undergoes the therapy and probably happy and joyful also. Maybe some customized panel. I'm just thinking about. We can always probably futuristic point. Don't undergo any pain. Therapy is happening. You're enjoying reading and you listen to music also. Maybe some therapies we can work out. I don't know. Well, that's a lighter vein. In any case, I come back to Hitesh, I think. No, because you have customized panels, highly customized and specific panels, which are in your kitty. Like what is you can say some success stories, and what kind of success stories? Can you share some success stories? What you've undergone, what your patients or people who are taking a test?
So one I already had mentioned at the start, a patient who was having pancreatic cancer. We have many more success stories like that. One was from Bangladesh. A patient had come and he had parotid cancer, and 1 year again he was under standard chemotherapy, and the patient was progressing on the standard treatment. Again, we look at the molecular profile and we found a mutation, and he was put on the treatment. And after 1 year, we could see his photo from a holiday where there was no cancer at all, and that was without surgery, just based on the drug treatment, based on the molecular marker. And similarly, one which has been we have published actually in one of the health on-site health platform, where we had a patient who was stage 4 lung cancer, and we were able to find a RET mutation. This was again 1.5 years back. That time the drugs were not available, but because we had information. Now what is important over here is that many a times the test is not done because the drugs are not available or they are not accessible, but because the information was available, his doctors were able to get the drug on a compassionate basis to India, and the treatment was done, and 6 months again phenomenal response. So a lot of such cases are there. It's not few and far in between anymore. Every next patient where we find a targetable mutation, we're able to immediately see the impact in the quality of life and the treatment outcomes.
Now let's just quick one-line answer. What is the acceptability rate has grown up last 5 years? Prescription
Immense.
rate, acceptability
I would
rate,
say that in just last 3 years, it would have grown 4 times. So maybe 2020, 21, maybe 15, 20,000 tests across India. Today we are doing close to 70, 80,000 tests, if I'm not wrong, the numbers. And I think in the next 3 to 5 years, you will see close to this number going close to 300,000 tests at least.
Great. That means we have already arrived. I think that's what we are here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think probably, and we have to take it very aggressively forward. Great. I think my next question is to Divedi. I think probably you are the hospital, and how do you promote that collaboration and because interpersonal with doctors, clinicians, information, data? I think probably how do you handle that in the hospital like yours?
So we have a concept of tumor board. So where multimodal treatment is discussed, and every case which is not a very you can say initial stage or very easy to handle, all the doctors sit together, discuss, and we have 2 units, so both units are connected through the video conference, and every complex case is discussed amongst there are radiologists, pathologists, medical oncologists, surgeon, radiation specialists, and the course of treatment is decided. We also have some collaborations with certain American universities and hospitals, and we cross refer cases to each other.
work it out. That's something very likely. That's something, a lot of regulation and everything into place. And then, of course, clinicians have to be told about. The tumor board is the best place, I think, to work on. Neeraj, quick, we have a little short of time, but we have a quick answer from you. You have been into service providing, you have been in manufacturing now, and like I want to hear from you, like how does can patient engagement and empowerment be promoted within the context of precision medicine? That's a patient. How does the patient gets to know about it? What should be done? What is being done? And what we can do together?
I think with more and more technology now, patients are much more educated actually, and by and large, they come with a lot of curiosity and research, and so they hear all these different buzzwords around which they see on the Google, and then they come and ask to the doctor, which many of times is the backward approach where the doctor prescribes the test because of the patient's request. But yeah, as Hitesh also mentioned, that kind of awareness is getting much more bigger and bigger, and so one of the basic factor is that how we can bring the cost down for a patient engagement is a very important aspect, because even if we as a manufacturer, so when we developed a lab, as you said, the goal was to engage a lot of clinician engagement and to understand the need, that we curated, and we created our manufacturing facility based around that, where we develop technologies to nurture that. But the goal was to see how we can make it more affordable. But what we are just lacking is that even if we bring the price down, does it actually convey to the hospital and patient? That is always a limit sometimes, where the policymakers have to bring some regime that it has to be having a certain bandwidth to, just like COVID testing, which we saw in the past. Had not that been the case, we would have so much differentiation in pricing at the end goal. That kind of regime needs to be brought in the genomics, I think, so that can ultimately transform the benefit to the patient as a pricing reduction, and that will take off the much more adoption of the technology, I believe so.
Great. I think I probably, in my experience, what I noticed is I think today's patient is much more aware. In fact, they Google all around, and when they come back, they say, "Doctor, you are not doing this. Can this be done on us?" And then we need to wonder, oh, we don't know. Let me go back and read it again. I think but again, the patients are definitely demanding. In fact, I always give an example of, like at tailors. If you look at sometime, some about 20 years back, we used to go to the tailor shop, give measurements, and get our dresses made. But then after that, like the market become ready-made and all stuff is available. But again, now we are seeing the Raymonds coming back. They said, you go to customized shop, you go over to the Raymond showroom, they take you this thing, they call it a second trial, then they put a computerized scan, and then that customization is definitely happening, and this is going to be an integral part of it. And definitely that's a healthcare, something we're talking about. We need to be, more precise, and I think we are already there. We're reaching more finer. So I think the last question to Abhishek, I think I'll ask you, because what are the main challenges, what we're feeling, because your adoption is this technology, tool, what can you share some, in brief, what are the basic challenges?
So just looking into the time, I'll be very, very quick brief on this. So I think a lot of speakers talked about some of the key challenges from a precision oncology perspective. And when I look at it from an organization perspective, I think there could be many, but there are top three that we look into. One is around the infrastructure and the resource constraint, because some of the testing methodologies that are there in the environment right now, they are a highly skilled manpower units are required. So that is something which, as a society, as a country, we have to together come together and make a ecosystem which is fruitful for that. Second, I think, is around the regulatory and the ethical framework, which is around creating those quality standards for diagnosis, as well as creating some of the benchmarks, creating the data repository and other things which are around it together. So those could be the second thing. And the last thing that I think is very, very critical will be, which you also alluded to, was around the awareness and the acceptance. So although Hitesh mentioned that there is a long acceptance, the percentage has increased, but we still have a way to go. So I think if together as a country we are able to work in different general in this, from service providers to the industry to the clinicians, if we are working in these three directions, I think that will definitely help this taking forward. So
thank you so much. I think for all, I think we just have about 1.5 minutes. I think I'll ask, Tej, and all of you, 30 seconds, what could be the last line you want to convey? Just 30 seconds, whatever message you want to give.
I think again I would like to add on to what Abhishek said is that for us to make precision medicine a reality, it's going to be a collaborative effort. It's going to be where everyone comes together, be it industry, academia, healthcare providers, health systems, government, people, everyone coming together, creating awareness, because this is going to change the way the treatment happens. Going to change the way we look at the diseases. So it's a lot of collaboration, and all of us should be collaborating in different level to make this a success and make maybe India. I have a very strong feeling in 10 years, precision medicine is going to be led by India for the world.
Yeah. Devedi, please.
Two things. One is best use of technology is use of technology in healthcare and precision medicine, because this is giving us life, not in banking, finance, insurance, anywhere. And coming to the next point is, let us try to make this affordable, make precision medicine affordable to the masses.
Yeah.
That is the key, I think.
Neeraj.
I think integrating with the routine diagnostics is the key for taking precision medicine. When you do a lung cancer testing, it has to be complemented with all the drug information around the lung cancer. Likewise, in every stream, integrating that would be the way to bring the volumes up and bringing pricing down.
I think I would say just one thing, this is around testing more to create more data points. So that would actually help long-term vision for from a patient perspective and from the society perspective.
Great. I think a lot of things. I think we're coming to the end of the session. For me, basically, I feel that precision medicine is just not a scientific concept only. It's a lifeline, a beacon of hope, and illuminating the path to healing. I think that's something what we're talking today, and we're looking for the future. Thank you, everybody. Before I sum up, this already says time's up, but I'll take 1 minute extra. I think I jotted down because I was yesterday night traveling somewhere, and we thought we need precision medicine. Something came to my mind. I noted down a couple of lines and read it out for you. In the kingdom of health, a revolution stills, where science and compassion brightly concur. Precision medicine, a beacon of light, guiding us forward, shining so bright. Gone the days of one size fits all, not tailored treatments, personalized call. Genetic mysteries unlocked in our genes, revealing the secrets of what wellness means. Each patient is unique, a genetic treasure, precision medicine, that ultimate measure. Targeted therapies like arrow precise strike the heart of illness, breaking wise. For cancer grip to rare disease rare, precision medicine shows we care. Through trials and trims, we journey on, harnessing science till darkness is gone. So let us applaud this marvel of art, precision medicine, a healing heart. Innovations embrace a song of delight, guiding us forward towards future bright. So I think that's something which is I probably like to conclude with, and I have to say, to here is, we can say to the unwavering, can say the precision and pure commitment, my heart saying that precision medicine holds the cure and hope. Thank you so much for everybody who be here. Thank you, panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gaur, for your words and for wonderfully leading this discussion. Thank you to our panelists for this engaging discussion. I'd now like to request Dr. Gaur to felicitate his co-panelists. Mr. Abhishek Gupta. Mr. Neeraj Gupta. Mr. Hitesh Goswami. Mr. J.P. Dwivedi. I'd now like to request Dr. Manisha Khurana to felicitate Dr. Gaur. Dr. Ravi Gaur. I request the dignitaries to please stay with us for a group picture.